Cincinnati, yeah, we live it. Lit the crowd, hit the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the pounce, make the city howl. Now we feasting now. Thunder through the tunnel from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes we tatted on the jungle when we flex that who they muscle on them. Cincinnati, we gon' rise in the jungle, we unite in the.
Welcome to another episode of Bengals and Brews. I am Dale Altman, joined by new co-host Houday Joe Streck, my boy.
Thanks, man. I'm excited.
Also joined by basically another co-host, even though he's obsessed with LSU. I don't know why we tolerate him. Crazy Brett. I'm just going to call you a Brett. He loves the Queen. He's sad she's dead. Kieran Horne.
Fuck that hoe.
All right. And obviously, the reason anyone would tune in is for the Godfather himself, Anthony Cosenza, AC, Sense of Jungle, the man, the myth, the legend, the originator, I don't know, Anthony. There's not too many things I couldn't say about you that are phenomenal that wouldn't be true. Like, you're a great guy, man.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on, guys. It's good to chat with you. I have to say something about the Godfather thing real quick. I've been thinking about this, and while that is flattering, I guess if we're gonna go Godfather stuff, I would technically be the Michael Corleone, because there are guys that were a little bit before me. Nick Suberling, who now works on Joe Goodberry's show as a producer. Mickey Mentzer, a.k.a. at Houday fans. Those guys kind of started it up too early on. So those are like the Don Vito Corleones, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Michael becomes the Godfather.
There you go.
So, hey.
I had never seen it. Kieran's Fredo.
It's good, but it's good to give love to people, and I love you guys. So here we are, 5-4. A lot of people were. I am just thankful we won that last game, to be honest, because Twitter was a damn firestorm. If we would have lost that game, I don't know. I might be hiding in somewhere.
Yeah,
just because it's
behind your paid blue check mark, probably, right?
Yeah, $8, man. Derek, Derek wouldn't have paid the $8 for the blue check mark for the Bengals and Brews show. Shout out Derek. He's never on the show, but he's the money guy. He's got that big bank. He's working like usual, so he can buy the $8 check mark.
Yeah, and I have something queued up for you, AC.
Oh, you just want to start with it?
I want to just go right into it.
All right.
Uh-oh.
That's cool.
Oh.
Why isn't it playing?
Who I just think are frauds. The Cincinnati Bengals are fraudulent. They can't beat Jacoby Brissett and the Browns. You've lost to the Browns, Bengals, 5 straight times. That is bad. And that's on the coaching. Listen, I think the Super Bowl runner-up hangover is real.
And this was right before the Panthers
can't
game.
Win on the line of scrimmage. There's no resetting of the line of scrimmage with this offensive line. Well, they're resetting it negatively. They're moving backward on every play. And poor Joe Mixon has nowhere to run. No Jamar Chase either at the wide receiver position. He's still out with injury.
Man, Michael Sarah fell off.
The Bengals looked pathetic on Monday Night Football, and now they're coming off a short week, taking on a gritty Panthers squad.
They were very gritty.
I think wins outright. They beat the Bengals on the road. PJ Walker gets it done. Steve Wilkes is fantastic as a coach. Maybe
PJ Walker had 89 yards
officially for the Panthers.
Got benched for Baker Mayfield.
The Bengals.
Yeah. If I can, first of all, he tagged me in that. I'm sure you guys know.
I did.
He tagged me in that.
That's why Joe brought it up.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah. So I gave him I politely gave him a little hell afterward. I was like, how's this going? I will say this. Cam actually does a lot of cool stuff for our show. He's helped us out with a lot of cool guests. So I'm not going to hate on him too hard there. But I will say that take just aged about as poorly as a block of cheddar cheese. I mean, that thing, that was just a terrible terrible take. And
what is the
but that-
Twitter?
and, like-
the ice cold takes or whatever? on
yeah,
Twitter?
freezing cold takes. Yeah,
Yeah.
freezing cold
freezing
takes.
cold
Yeah,
takes.
I mean, he ate crow publicly. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna walk that one back." But
Yeah.
yeah, that oh god.
Yeah,
And what was funny is I felt like that kind of came out of nowhere from him. He just was like, "Hey, boom, I'm tagging you in this thing."
Yeah,
and I
and
was
he
like,
tagged
"Whoa."
he tagged Solly, he tagged Bridget.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, he's asking for it. He's
Right.
He was
really,
feeling.
He
He was
seemed a
feeling
little-
himself. He was feeling himself.
That came from a place of emotion. He was hurt making that video. I
Did
don't
you-
know
did-
what happened.
Did you see what was over his shoulder?
the Raven's head.
The Raven head. Yeah,
The
that's
Raven's
where
head.
that's where it came from. Yeah.
Yeah. And I brought not to crap on the guy, but more so I just
No.
wanted to see if you guys like had some friendly shit talking.
Wait, I got to watch it back here in a little bit. It might be our love child.
Yeah. Cam's a good guy, but that
Hey,
take,
no, shout out to him, but we had, you got, hey, when you're gonna put it out there,
yeah,
you
you gotta eat it. Yyep, you gotta eat
Yeah.
it. If you're gonna put that out
That
there,
was
you gotta eat
emphatic.
that. Yeah,
Especially specifically calling out Mixon and the historic day he had. I mean, like,
yeah.
I almost felt bad for him the more
Yeah.
I watched it. I'm like, because I watched it before the game, and then I quote tweeted it and be like, keeping receipts.
Yeah,
And so I went back and watched it again. I'm like, oh man. This is
hey,
bad.
to be fair though, I have a buddy who he likes the Bengals, but he's a Titans fan overall. I've known him my whole life, and he's like, I feel like you guys should still be talking shit about Mixon during this bye week. You should talk, and I was like, we should also be talking shit about Joe. Clearly, Kenny Pickett is a better quarterback than him, right? Because wasn't that a
Oh,
Dominic
fuck's
Foxworth
sake,
thing?
man.
That so we need to say all these things as Bengal fans, like, and just
Put
clip
those
the
kind of
fuck-
takes out there, right? Put
Yes.
Cam's kind of takes out there. Yeah.
for the good of
Kenny
the team.
Pickett was a fan service pick. It went about as well as you
Yeah.
can expect. They were like, oh, we got a pick guy. That lasted until you see him fucking play football, and then you're like, oh fuck, we drafted Kenny fucking Pickett. What the fuck?
Well, I never understood like
Desmond
Malik
Ridder,
Willis.
Malik
Willis
Willis, Bailey
was my
fucking
guy.
Zapp
Yeah.
was still on the board.
I was terrified that they were going to take Malik. That was the
Mhm.
guy that I thought would have fit really well there, and he's raw,
They'd be
but I
undefeated if
think
they
he's
had
got a lot of
Bailey Zapp.
potential.
It was a bad year to need a quarterback, though.
It was.
My God, it was a bad year to need a quarterback, and thank God the Bengals didn't need one.
Yeah. Matt
Here's
Corral
the
can't
thing.
even get on the field on that Panthers team. Can't even get on the field.
Well, he's hurt.
injured.
Oh, is he
He's
injured?
hurt.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
but he still
Yeah.
wouldn't have been on the field.
my issue with the quarterbacks class this year wasn't potentially weak, but like in the previous years, we'd had like such big names and guys that have like flourished
Yeah.
after the last couple of years that like it was hard to get excited about. I scouted every single draft eligible quarterback for, head over to full10yards.co.uk. You can still buy the book if you're ever interested. But I scouted that entire quarterback class. There were 3 first-round quarterbacks in that draft. Like, without a doubt, 3 guys could have gone first round.
No.
None of them were fucking Kenny Pickett. Now, I don't hate him, and I obviously wish every player success when they come into the league because that makes the league more fun and competitive. But the fact that Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, and Sam Howell were not looked out until as late as they were, while Kenny Pickett was. Kenny Pickett wouldn't have got picked in the first round unless he played at Pitt. If he'd have done that at any other school, Steelers wouldn't have picked him. It was 100% fan service. And now they've got to be like, oh, fuck, we got to make something out of this guy, and I don't think it's going to happen.
And that's very uncharacteristic of the Steelers organization, if that's true.
I think that's part of it, but I don't mean to cut you off, Joe. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I think that's part of it, for sure. I think that was fan appeasement based on, just hometown kid, all that. But I do think in a way, and this is just my own opinion, I don't know if you guys agree with it or not, but I think there's a little bit of a franchise overconfidence in itself in terms of, hey, not a lot of people think this kid should be picked here. We think he should be. We're the Steelers. We can make him who we want him to be. And to everyone else, go to hell, right? I mean, that's kind of, to me, it kind of feels that way. It's the same thing with the Harris pick the year prior, right? You don't pick a running back in the first round,
Right.
especially one who had a ton of touches in college and whatnot. And what do? They go and do that. And this guy, I mean, he's got some talent, obviously, but you can tell there's still, because the team is pretty weak around him, he can't get a lot of yards per carry, a lot of yards per catch like he was doing in Alabama. So I think you're right, Kieran, that there's kind of that hometown love, but I do think there's maybe just my own personal opinion though, but I think there's a little bit of a franchise overconfidence in itself that they're like, hey, screw what you think. We're gonna make these guys classic Steeler Hall of Fame kind of guys, you know.
I don't think they're going to be cocky little bitches after this year.
Well, it's finally catching up to them, it seems like, you know. Yeah. But I still don't want to say anything till we get that dub.
Yes,
after this bye week, because if they get 2-0 against us, it's just going to be like Cleveland.
And they're probably getting TJ Watt back. I don't know if he's playing this week, but they're probably getting him back.
He is playing limited snaps.
Yeah, so. That's, you know, that concerns me because we've struggled against elite pass rushers. So we'll see.
All right. I want to do some midseason awards, and I want to start with you, Anthony.
Okay.
So let's do Bengals, midseason Bengals, offensive MVP at this point of the year.
Ooh. You know, there's a conversation to be had about probably a very small handful of players. You would say, you know, Burrow, Chase in that conversation, obviously injured the last couple of games here, but, you know, I really still have a soft spot for Tyler Boyd. I still think that he steps up and just makes plays. He's just not your game breaker guy, but, you know, I think the easy answer would be Joe Burrow. You know, obviously you could go Chase just based on the impact that you see from the offense when he's not out there. So that's an argument to be had. So I'll go with Burrow. The numbers are pretty similar. I on my show last night, I kind of did a quick comparison. I think he was at, I don't have him in front of me, but I think he was 20 touchdowns, 11 interceptions at this point in the season last year. This year, he's 18 touchdowns, passing touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. So tiny bit dip in touchdown passes, but has really, really cut down on the interceptions overall. Really, just if you take that Steelers game out, I mean, he's just playing really lights out. So, I mean, I think you got to go Burrow, but there are a couple of other names that you can kind of toss in there as well as kind of interesting conversation.
Yeah. What do you got, Kieran?
Probably slightly out of left field, but Ted Karras. He's been fantastic.
Yeah, but I was going to say the same word.
He's come into the building. He's stepped into that leadership role. He's way more charismatic than
y'all saw my notes.
CJ Uzama was a great leader for us, but on the field he was just, you know, not as good as Hayden Hurst, let's be honest. But that locker room effect is crazy. Ted Karras has come in. He's a very, very experienced offensive lineman. He's played all over the line, but center is where he shines. And he has shone for this team. He's taken a bit of the mental load off Joe, because as we saw last year, Joe was calling all the protections, all the mic calls, all the stuff like that. Ted has stepped in. He calls most of the protections, most of the mic calls, and he has been fantastic in the locker room. He is a stand-up teammate. The guys love him. A little bit of a humble brag, but I got to hang out with the Bengals rookies, and I actually asked Volson a little bit about Karras, and he said he is a fantastic leader, and you're just happy to play for the guy. And even though, we've seen him say to the press, look, he's less than happy with how things are going right now, but who he has as a player, he's willing to dig in, buy into this franchise, and just make it the best team in the NFL. And I truly believe he's doing that.
It's a good pick. I went low-hanging fruit, but just a quick piggyback on that. If you notice, guys, the interior of the offensive line, I think Karras is a big reason for it. Look at how much better – the sacks don't tell you the story, but look at how much better the interior offensive linemen this year are at picking up stunts and twists.
Well, you are just really taking all of my material.
Hey, we're just making your job easier for you, dude. That's all. Kieran nailed it, though. I went low-hanging fruit. I went easy. Kieran nailed it.
Karras queued up because, I was going to say Ted Karras. I mean, because, people are, complaining about the O-line. The interior is not the problem. It's been the tackles against those elite, edge rushers. So, the interior has been solid. Of course, that's not Karras alone. That's Kappa, and Volson's had some good moments as well. But yeah, I mean, his energy. I was really worried about the locker room void that Uzama would leave. And wow, I mean, Karras just jumped in, is just a ball of energy. I watched Bengals posted like a compilation of all the mic'd up throughout the year. And I heard Karras talking during the Dolphins Thursday night game where he's on the sideline. He's like, let's get the ball back and let's run it down their fucking throats. Let's fucking go. And I'm like, oh my God, like, hell yeah. Like, you just want to run through a brick wall. But if I go for the low hanging fruit side, I was going to pick Chase. Prior to the injury, I mean, I was watching during the Dolphins game. And I mean, they're just bracket covering him every single time, bracket, just every single time. And it just opened up so much for the rest of the offense when you have one guy commanding that much attention. Great pick here.
Well, I was going to go off the board and say Ted Karras, veteran leader, makes guys around him better. The way the interior O-lines play. I had it all written down. I had it all planned out.
You should have gone first.
More notes on there?
Yeah, that's the rest of them. So I don't know what I had the rest of them.
Hey, you showed us the rest of your notes, so we could just steal your picks.
Yeah. You can go first next time.
I'm going to say Joe Burrow because if he goes out, we're screwed. He's obviously, the MVP of the team.
Yes.
But whatever. I feel cheated. All right. Defensive.
You go first this time, Dale, so we don't steal yours.
Oh, shit. I got to find my notes.
You just ripped it up.
They are ripped up. So I had a tie. Number one was Cheeto. Well, was kind of second because I'm like, he's injured. But number one is Von Bell because it's the best year he's played all season or his whole career in the NFL. He's getting interceptions. He's playing good in coverage. He's always been a great tackler. Von Bell is my defensive MVP. Cheeto, though, I still miss Cheeto. I hope we can make up somehow for him. Anthony?
Cheeto's good call. There are a lot of different ways to go here. I've really liked what I've seen really from the last half of last year and into this year from Jermaine Pratt. Really seeing a lot of growth from him, which is really nice. I'm going to go old reliable, and I use old, sarcastically, but I've got a soft spot for the guy. Sam Hubbard is a guy. He's kind of that Michael Johnson mold where he's not going to give you always the gaudy sack numbers, but he'll give you some pass rush. He'll give you a ton of hustle. He'll do stuff against the run. If you notice, running quarterbacks and the run, really over the last couple of years, he's really fit into what Lou Anarumo likes to do and has wanted to do. And that's why you've seen a lot of limiting of Lamar Jackson these past couple of years. He's been a big part of that. So I think Von Bell's deserving. I think you can make an argument for Logan Wilson, Jermaine Pratt, DJ Reader, but he's been out most of the year. So I'm going to go Sam Hubbard as my defensive MVP, and I'll add in kind of that locker room effect that you guys were talking about with Karras as well. I think he has kind of a lot of sway in that locker room too.
That's a great pick.
Thank you.
Kieran?
See, I also floated around like the idea of Jermaine Pratt and, Cheeto been fantastic, Von Bell. Everyone's going to hate this, but Jesse Bates has been playing really fucking good this season. Like, he's really stepped up. Now, I don't think he's playing to the money he was asking for.
It's one game. I will disagree. I'll say one or two games he's played better.
I think it may be recency bias a little bit, but yeah, I think he's really stepped up. He's starting to look how he looked in the postseason last year, which was the best we've ever seen Jesse Bates ever. Yeah, he just called me too.
He's called every one of us. He called me.
No, not me. This is not calling me. What the? I want a phone call. Good God.
Does Jeff have your number?
No, I'm just being martyr. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like,
I've never give him your number, Anthony, because this is what will happen.
Karen, are you frozen?
But yeah, Jesse Bates for me. Just
all right.
That's it. That's off. I didn't see that one, but okay.
Well, the back end of the defense has been playing.
Everyone
really well
took my
all
picks.
Year.
Yeah. Yeah,
Did I take your?
Dale, you and I are kindred spirits. I had Von Bell. So I was looking it up, and Von Bell's never been known he as a guy that gets interceptions. I
He's a tackler.
didn't realize how little interceptions he's had in his career. So he is in his 7th year in the NFL. He, until this season, you know how many interceptions he's had? 2. He's had 4 already. That's incredible. And, some of that stuff can be fluky, but I think he's playing great. The other guy that I had on my mind was Cheeto. I feel like was always the guy that never got a lot of praise, national media wise, outside of Bengals fans and media. But the guy is just so rock solid. He doesn't get the praise because he doesn't get picks. But Cheeto was really important in this defense. But I can tell there's like a vibe where it feels like everyone else is starting to step up. Like, I feel like Jesse Bates had his, best game, and Eli Apple played really well. But yeah, Von Bell would be it for me.
Did you want to kick this one off, Joe? And I just said Rookie of the Year because we have like one offensive guy. It's Volson. So.
Yeah, that's
but
kind of
overall, offensive, defensive, Rookie of the Year to this point. Probably
I think it's got to be Volson. I mean, for me, I think that's the obvious one. He's gotten the most playing time out of all the rookies, and he's been really solid. He's had a couple below average games, but I feel like overall, like he's really answered the call. He feels like he's like a student of the game. You saw the training camp videos where he's picking well.
Nice pussy, by the way.
Yeah,
it's a nice pussy.
I know, he won't leave me alone. He was picking LC's brain to really, try to learn and get better. And I feel like he's been put in some tough situations, but I feel like he's got a lot of potential long term where he didn't know that when he was getting drafted. And he earned his spot, which it's been really impressive.
Well, I had to eat crow on that Volson pick. I went on the only time I've been on AC's show. I was like, he's a small school guy. I don't know about him.
Come back on.
Hey, I'll come on anytime you invite me, AC.
All right. Okay. All right.
But I will say,
don't let the Trevor Penny pick fool you, because that was a terrible pick.
But Volson, I was like, I just don't know about this guy. We're moving another guy from tackle to guard, small school. I'm not sure about it. He has exceeded expectations. Mm-hmm. Now, I will also say, Zach Carter's played well. Gunter had flashes. He had a block. There's a lot of rookies that have stepped up. We haven't seen nothing with Axel yet, and Cam Taylor-Britt is going to have to do it in the second half. But as a midseason word, it has to be Volson. What do you think, AC?
It's funny because, I don't want to say the collective hour, but I think the fan base and a lot of folks kind of were like, hey, who's Zach Carter? Who's Cordell Volson, right? And those are the two guys that are contributing the most, right? This is what the conversation comes down to. So I'll go with Volson just for the obvious reason. But Zach Carter, I think he's got 17 tackles and 1 for loss, and he's filling in. And some of these guys are having to take more snaps than they originally envisioned. I think, and again, a guy I've got a soft spot for. I think Cam Taylor-Britt with more snaps, more work. I think he's going to be a good player. I think he's going to be a very good player. He's got all the athleticism tools, that he tested extremely well. He's got a lot of speed. He's got a willingness to tackle. So I expect, I don't know if I expect it, but I'm cautiously optimistic that he's going to have a good second half of the season as more snaps get under his belt. He gains a little more confidence going forward. We'll have to see what happens with Dax because of the shoulder injury there. That didn't look good last week, but I think Volson's the easy answer. Carter probably runner up, and then let's keep an eye on some of those the first 2 picks going forward here.
Kieran, you got one?
Yeah, my best friend right here.
There he is.
I I promise I'm not a manlet. He's just really fucking big.
He's a big dude.
I was going to give it to Zach Carter, but he wouldn't throw up that L in a photo, so his problem. Volson, he's been absolutely fantastic. He looks really experienced out there, and I know there's a lot of apprehension about taking small school guys because Trevor Penning is a fucking disaster. The problem is Volson isn't a dumb fuck like Trevor Penning is. He goes out there, he puts in the work. He doesn't want to fight with people constantly, and he knows.
Doesn't try to injure his own teammates. You mean?
It's the opposite.
I just want to say about Trevor Penning. So many people fell in love with his size and his ferocity, but if you watch I think it was the Senior Bowl or the Shrine Bowl, he was getting fucking blown up by 190-pound corner because his technique is so fucking dog shit. Trevor Penning is a terrible fucking player, and he's an asshole. We got Cordell Volson, who is a polite, super smart guy, and he's come in, he's kept his head down, he's played his fucking ass off, and he has outshone, I think, any expectations anyone had for him coming into the draft, where he was drafted, the school he comes from, and yeah, I can't say enough good things about him.
Hey,
opposite guys. Opposite guys, though, right? Like Penning's the guy that's the size and tested. I mean, Volson's got size too, but tested well, that athlete, all that kind of stuff. And Volson's the guy, small school, overlooked, and didn't test as well, all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden, he's the guy that's playing, light years ahead of Penning. And so interesting correlation there. I didn't think about that till you brought his name up.
Yeah, I love it. Kieran, you want to kick this one off? Bengals Coach of the Year. So this isn't just like Zach Taylor. It's anybody on the staff, any position.
It's got to be Lou, hasn't it?
Whoever you want, man.
It's got to be. I mean, it's got to be for me. I mean, obviously, we have lost more games than I think anyone had expected us to, but we've had some decent injuries. We've had guys missing for parts of games, multiple games. Lou's just done a fantastic job, and we didn't. Was it up until most recently? We hadn't had no one scored in us on the second half, which just shows how great he is at making adjustments. He can get in the locker room, digest what he's in the first half. He sees what the offense is giving him. He gets the guys to adjust. Another thing I've noticed that you will see as you go back through games and compare him to last year, he's got the defense communicating a lot more. Now, people forget how important it is to have a guy on defense who can, whether he's in the middle of the field, in the secondary, who can let everyone know what the fuck is up. If he sees something on offense, he can say, hey, you need to drop down. Hey, we're switching to zone. Hey, we're switching to man. I see this. I see that. And that obviously comes from Lou. Players just don't come out of the box like that. So the fact that the players are communicating more, making better adjustments on defense, I think hands down it has to go to Lou this season.
Yeah, Uncle Lou's great. Who wants to take it next? Anthony or Joe?
I think it's Tomahawk Slam Lou. I mean, it was through the first 7 games, not giving up a second half touchdown. We were the first team to do that since the 2000 Baltimore Ravens. That's insane. And I feel like it was momentum from last season where, like Kieran, I hope I'm not belaboring what Kieran already said, but the second half adjustments is just been incredible. And that's why we never felt like we were out of a game, because we know Lou's, going to be that mad scientist and is going to come up with creative ways to limit some of these big play teams.
Now, I'm not going to go Lou, but I'm going to stick with the defense. And I'm going to say Marion Hobby, because ever since we got him, I feel like the D-line, everybody's like, the BJ Hill trade, that's so huge. Guess who's been a big part of that? Marion Hobby. Mm-hmm. We had Larry O, Marion Hobby. And then Jay Tufele.
Yep.
That's had to fill in with DJ Reader out. Guess what? Who's the D-line coach? It's still Marion Hobby.
Yep.
Let's put some and Sam Hubbard was your defensive player of the year to this point. Marion Hobby, Trey Henderson, we brought him in to fill in when we lost Carl Lawson. Guess what? Marion Hobby. I'm telling you, Marion Hobby is a damn phenomenal defensive line coach. So that's my coach of the year for the Bengals this far.
Usually for me, this is always kind of a Darren Simmons award for me. I always go like
That's always
Darren Simmons, right? And this year I can't do it.
Cannot.
I mean, not that special teams has not been decent or whatever, but Kevin Huber,
they have not been decent. They have not.
You lose Clark Harris. You've had some recent struggles, so I can't go Darren Simmons, but I'm going to go a little bit of the route that Dale went, and I'm going to go with a guy named Robert Livingston. And Robert Livingston, you guys talked about Jesse Bates. You guys talked about Von Bell.
He was a scout. He was a scout, dude.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, he was. You're right. I can't say with certainty what he does. Absolutely, with definitive certainty about what he does day to day and how he works with that. But you guys both had Jesse Bates and Von Bell in there. Those guys have combined for 6 interceptions to this point right now as safeties. The secondary is kind of carrying the defense for the most part. The pass rush is there, but it's definitely not as consistent as it was last year. So I'm going to go with the secondaries coach, namely the one that works with the safeties, and Robert Livingston.
That is a.
But Lou gets love too.
We all pick defense. Like they're under. Lou is the man. I like to call him Uncle Lou, Mad Scientist Lou, but Uncle Lou. I don't know. I'd love to have a beer with that guy.
Yeah, Livingston was a good one.
All right, let's switch it up. Let's go whole NFL. I'll just say I had a tough time for NFL offensive MVP.
Geno Smith.
It's not a bad pick.
That's not far fetched, man.
Comeback.
I mean, it is, but it isn't.
Comeback player of the year, Geno Smith.
Yeah, 100%.
But I will say, to this point of the season, Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts, and I could flip a coin for which one I pick.
Jalen Hurts is a fucking animal, bro.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'll say Josh Allen, but I could flip a coin for either of them.
Yeah, I was going to say Jalen Hurts. Definitely Josh Allen's deserving. I mean, I think I feel like Jalen Hurts is taking that leap that Allen took when he got Diggs, because now Hurts has A.J. Brown. And, I mean, I remember talking to people in my friends group that last year just thought Jalen Hurts was a bad football player. He got benched for Gardner Minshew at one point, I believe. And it's just, everything's starting to come together for him. Everything's clicking. And he's really grown as a passer, but, he's still dangerous on the ground too. And that's what happens when you give talented guys a good weapon like that.
I didn't think he was going to be that talented of a passer ever. And he has proven me wrong.
I thought that about Josh Allen too.
Do you know why I want to say I knew both of them were taking a leap? And this is some
LSU bullshit. Are you going to bring us back to LSU somehow?
Shut up. Both we saw in camp, they had changed their mechanics wildly. Like for me, Josh Allen, it was finally seeing him getting that front foot placement down. He wasn't crow hopping on it as much, and he wasn't dragging his whole body every time he made a throw. And we've seen that reflected in the passes. Yes, Diggs is a fucking animal, but he's getting the passes to Diggs more accurately. And these guys, we just saw it was a mechanical change he made, which just made all his balls way more accurate. He wasn't hopping on the front foot. He wasn't dragging the back leg. He was finally utilizing his power correctly, which, by the way, why I think Trey Lance is a terrible quarterback, because he hasn't changed his mechanics even slightly. So every ball is off target pretty much. And that's what I saw with Jalen Hurts in camp. His mechanics had changed. I thought, damn, he's going to be a really accurate passer, but he's even succeeded my expectations there. So it proves that at this level, mechanics really do matter. You can't just get away with athleticism. You can't scramble and make 5, 10, 20 yards on every play like you can in college. And Jalen Hurts has made that leap. He is an elite level athlete, and now his passing has caught up to his where his wheels are. And I think, like Dale said, it's either him or Josh Allen. They're both amazing football players.
Hard to to argue with any of you guys. I mean, I guess a couple other names I would throw into the mix. It's hard to go non-quarterback. But have you guys seen what Tyreek Hill's done this year?
Oh, it's been incredible.
I mean, not we're what? No, I don't know if they've had a bye or not yet. Honestly, off the top of my head, but 76 catches, 1,104 yards, only 3 touchdowns. But that's silly. I mean, those are silly numbers for a wide receiver at this point in the season. So that's one guy. And if you really want to get weird, have you looked at the Minnesota Vikings record lately?
Oh God! Please don't do this.
I don't want to say Cousins, but I mean, if you're
don't do this to me
wins,
because
you're gonna go wins.
Derek's best friend. He's like.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
Derek loves him. Derek loves
I don't like him. But look at their record.
Vibes.
Look at their record.
I know.
I mean, we're making dogs bark even talking about Kirk Cousins, for God's sake.
Oh, God.
I know. But I would say, you know, I really wouldn't put Kirk seriously in the conversation, but I would say just look at the record there. And I would say though, honestly, if you guys are right with the quarterbacks, if I was just to get a little weird and go non-quarterback, take a look at Tyreek Hill, because what he's put up there is pretty crazy.
I will add on to that because I remember when we played them and we beat them on that Thursday night football game, I said, Tyreek balled out, and people were like, no, he didn't. We shut him down. I said,
No.
I'm like, he had 10 catches for 180 yards. What the hell are y'all talking about? I'm like, he balled out. He just didn't get in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of proves kind of what you were saying. His touchdown numbers are down, but good Lord, the man is he's made all the difference. There's no way they'd be anywhere close to where they're at without Tyreek Hill.
The only other non-quarterback I was thinking about was Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
he's been so important to the Giants. I mean, and a lot of people just wrote him off as just like, he's washed. He had a hot start to his career, but he's done. And he came in motivated, and he's been running angry. And heck, he's even had to play quarterback, run Wildcat. I mean, he's definitely the most valuable player to that team.
Hey, and I'm happy for him because, like, he got so much hate for being – it's not his fault they picked him number 2 overall as a running back and the way the league values. But he's always been a hard worker. He's always been a good player and seems like a good person.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll kick this one off. Defensive MVP. No, I won't because I won't steal it from you, Joe. I'll let you kick it off because I'm probably going to take the same guy.
Probably not. It's Judon out of the Patriots. I've been watching.
That's who I was going to take.
I have been watching him more and more lately, and good Lord, I mean, he is terrifying. I am so scared when we have to go on the road against them because he's again one of these elite edge rushers where, like, when he gets pressure, it's like he is smoking people or just running guys over. He has been really, really impressive. He's always been a good player, but I feel like he is just on another level this season.
Oh, he's a fucking dog.
11.5 sacks right now.
Yep. It's wild.
Kieran, who you got for defensive?
It was between 2 players for me. They're both rookies. Neither has allowed a touchdown this year. Both have allowed about a 15% completion rating against both of them. One was picked 3rd overall. One was picked slightly later. But I'm not going to go with the guy who's picked 3rd overall because Dale will piss and shit and cry because of the school he went to. So I'm going to go with Sauce Gardner. He has been an absolute animal this year.
I love Derek Stingley. I never hate him on LSU. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. I don't hate on LSU, Kieran.
You just hate me.
No, I fucking love you, bruv.
I love you too, man. But yeah, Sauce, I think he's exceeded everyone's expectations, and it shows how good he is that Kobe Bryant has been playing out of his damn mind and got pushed that far back because of how Sauce is. And to come in as a rookie with all that hype and expectation and not only live up to it, but surpass it, I think Sauce Gardner is looking at being a top 5 corner in the NFL if he keeps this run up once the season is done.
So you don't even like you're saying overall defense. You're like not
defensive rookie of the year, defensive MVP. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm not trying to like shit on the people who had Diggs as a defensive player of the year guy, but you can't give up 1,600 yards.
I was going to say, you get
on 10
on those
picks.
people. That man was nowhere close to it.
Stingley's an animal, but
I agree.
Sauce is just, and this is a Sauce pun, but he is different mustard. He is an absolute beast out there. And I don't, although a commentator called him Ahmad the other day, and it just made me feel really fucking uncomfortable. That's not his first name, it's Sauce now. But yeah, he's just played out of his damn mind. He might be the best corner in the NFL after this season if he keeps up the level of play he's on.
First of all, I gotta correct our guy Strawberry. That's orange. It's orange. It may look based on dish. It's orange. It's not yellow. It's yellow. Come on, I don't drink out of yellow stuff. No Steelers colors around here. For me, you guys picked great ones. It came down to two for me, and I don't even know who to pick honestly. But I'm looking at Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons. Myles Garrett is a joke in terms of like athleticism, skill. I mean, just ridiculous. You look at the sack numbers; he's got 7.5, and it's not high volume one game type of sack numbers, right? It's not like, oh, he got 3.5 in one game. It's like 2 here, 1 here, 1 here. There's a couple of games where he didn't get any, but I mean it's consistent. He maybe it's a little biased because he plays so well against the Bengals all the time, but he is a game wrecker, and Parsons is a joke. I mean, just the fact of what they can do. It's kind of a little bit. He's a bigger Troy Polamalu. It's like, just go play football. I'm not even going to tell you what to do. Yep. Just go play instinctive football.
Very accurate.
Rush the passer if you want. Play in coverage if you want. Just you can't, because you can't rein it in. And if you try and rein it in, he's not the same guy. He's not the same player. It's the same thing with Polamalu to me. So Parsons obviously bigger than Polamalu, but it's like, hey, just go play backyard football, and it works for him. And obviously Dallas is right up there. So I can't really pick one. I would coin flip it.
You have to.
Okay, Garrett.
One.
I'll go Garrett.
All right, good. Because I was like, save me Parsons because
take Parsons in.
because I was going to go with Judon as well with 11.5 sacks, but Parsons has 8.5, and he's a beast. Like he's unstoppable. Like he is literally. Dallas has always needed the guy on defense. They've always had a good offense. Parsons has been that guy that's made them. We're a legit contender because you have to game plan for Parsons or he's going to wreck your game.
Yep.
And he wrecked the game against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Like he did.
They had nothing, and he was just killing them.
Yeah. Right? Cooper Rush went undefeated as a starter.
Right.
Because of their defense.
Because of Micah Parsons, mostly.
And Micah Parsons, specifically Micah Parsons.
You doubt Cooper Rush that much? Guys.
Just a tad.
Micah Parsons is just a way bigger Harold Perkins.
I mean, this is going to be easy for you, Kieran.
Kieran.
It's Derek Stingley, isn't it? No, it's Sauce Gardner.
I'm sorry to repeat.
I'm sorry to repeat the same name twice, but he just is that good. It's everything he does as well. Like when I scouted him for the draft guide, almost everything he did is like textbook, technically perfect. His transitions are smooth. He's got fluid hips. He can switch up the field at a moment's notice. He is very intelligent. He can see a route coming a mile off. The way he picks off route trees is fantastic. Now, he's not super high volume when it comes to production because he's not targeted as much, but he doesn't allow many yards. He doesn't allow touchdowns. He's never allowed a touchdown. That's how good he has been his whole life. So yeah, I just think, and the secondary kind of gets forgotten, I think, a little bit in football because we talk about these big names like, Trey Hendrickson's eating, Myles Garrett's eating, Micah Parsons is eating, but you can't forget about these like 6 foot, 190 pounds dude with blazing speed. They're just matching people up the field. And when you've got a guy like Sauce, he's taken away a first receiver option for a lot of teams, which means you've got to throw to other people. You've got to check down more. And I think that can't be understated. So yeah, Sauce is the midseason rookie of the year.
Do you have an offensive? Because I mean, like I didn't do it for the Bengals, so I kept the same for the NFL one when I put this up. But I feel like NFL Rookie of the Year, do you have an offensive?
It's tough because I quite like Pierce, who's at Texans. He absolutely blew up in that Eagles game. He's looked out of his damn mind. It's a shame Breece Hall got injured for the Jets because he's also been.
Yeah, he probably would have been.
Yeah, just an absolute animal. So I know he's injured, but I'm just going to give it to Breece Hall still because I know he's not coming back, but we're only talking about the midseason. So
exactly. What do you got, AC? Offense, defense, or just one? Whatever you want to do.
Man, hard to say. I mean, and hard to argue against Sauce. I mean, he's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to throw a couple of other names out there, you could look at Linderbaum you don't give it to center really, but he's been a good, decent, steady presence as a rookie, taking on kind of a tough position right away. So and obviously they're first in the division right now. So I know Ike Ekwonu, another guy, Evan Neal, they've done a couple of things. London's done some things, but I mean, really, when you look at it, the only guy that stands out to me, at least in the early rounds, along with Sauce, Chris Olave is doing some good things. For the Saints.
Damn it!
But
damn it! I was
for
like,
me,
don't say Chris Olave.
This is why you got to go first, dude.
No one said mine yet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would say Sauce, but the only one that would be kind of in that realm for me would maybe be Chris Olave because he's showing some nice things on film too.
No, I'm gonna swing it back to you really quick because my defensive was Sauce because he's balling, and Olave, even though he's missed some games, and his stats are still very elite, and he's playing with grilled cheese Andy Dalton.
Andy D.
So, and he's still putting up stats. So I would agree with both of those. So Joe, what do you got?
Those are all great names. You guys are leaving out one guy that he didn't have a lot of playing time the first few games, but Kenneth Walker III is a man.
Yeah,
he has this crazy breakaway speed. He's got good vision, and they showed. I saw a clip from like NFL's Twitter account.
What about Bailey Zapp?
Shut up. So the top like max speeds of NFL players all season, when Walker a few weeks ago broke like a 70-some yard run, he hit over 22 miles per hour. I mean, He is a motor, and I think he's super impressive. And even last week, he had a really slow start, but when the Seahawks needed him, he really started grinding. He got 2 late touchdowns to put the game away for them.
Hey, I want to rewind. Tariq Woolen is defensive rookie. He's right up there with Sauce. Like, the man is balling. 5th round pick. Yeah.
Seahawks with like Kobe Bryant and stuff as well. Like I said, Kobe didn't get that shine because of who he was playing opposite. But yeah, there's some real fucking impressive rookie corners this year. I want to shout out, is it Jack Jones for the Patriots? Number 13? He's playing Jack out of his damn mind. And people said I was dumb for grading him higher than Kyer Elam. I would never listen to people on Twitter again.
All right, last one, then we'll get y'all out of here. So Coach,
soon?
It's Thursday, Anthony. What time is it? Your time?
Dale can leave. We can
keep hanging. Right? It's 10 to 6 where I'm at, dude. I'm golden.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll just go pee and I'll be right back.
This should be the same answer for everyone, though, right? NFL Coach of the Year should be Nick Sirianni, correct?
Yeah. It was Nick Sirianni for me. I mean, I think people were hoping that the Eagles would take a leap, but I don't know if anyone expected this kind of performance. AC, you got someone else on
Pete Carroll.
All right.
Carroll. That team, everybody thought they were fire sale mode. They thought they were gonna tank for the next quarterback. Dude, you guys were just talking about Kobe Bryant. You guys were just talking about, Dude, and you know what's crazy about this team, really? I mean, when you even look at their really good teams, it was a lot of mid and late round wide receivers. It was, I mean, I know DK's in there as a second round pick now, but it was their quarterback forever. Russ was what, a fourth round pick, third round pick. Yeah. So, I mean, they just put it together in those mid and late rounds. And now I thought they were going to be just hot garbage, really. I was like, what are they doing here? And it was just kind of, well, war of attrition, and you got to wait it out for a year or two, and then, you know, you make do. But they have rebounded, and it may not be totally sustainable, at least maybe not beyond this year, or maybe even this last half of the season. But I am impressed as all hell based on what they've done, because I thought they would be goose egg in the win column this year right now. So while I like Sirianni, I think Mike McDaniel gets credit. I'm all over Pete Carroll for coach of the year right now. I just, especially if he sustains it long term, that's where I'm at. I've got a soft spot for him too, though.
People forget he built the Legion of Boom.
Yep.
And like, not all of those guys were big stars out of college. Richard Sherman, for example, only been playing corner a year, 5th round pick. You know, he put that together, and people somehow think that like that was luck. That's not luck, especially when you get these guys in the later rounds. You know what you're looking for, and you develop them correctly. So I think AC's spot on the money with Pete Carroll. I think people laugh at him because he's like a goofy old dude, but like, yeah, he's been a solid coach this year.
That's a great call, and I it's almost like I forgot. I was thinking the same thing going into this year. Like, I was like, Seahawks are going to be a dumpster fire, especially on offense. Like, who believed in Geno Smith? No one did. I mean,
meanwhile, he looks better than Russ.
Yeah, and they took chicken shit and turned it into chicken salad. I mean, it's been really.
Well, I
impressive.
mean, they had Drew Lock as well, so it was like, who's even going to be the quarterback?
Yeah,
right.
I thought it was impressive. No, I tossed out the StreamYard, but we're doing Coach of the Year. You guys, I think, said mine. Carroll and Sirianni, I kind of coin flipping between the two.
All right. I didn't want to take one of yours, but I got one more, is Brian Dable.
Yeah.
The Giants. I mean, that's another one. That was completely out of left field, where I'm just like, I did not expect them to have this kind of season. Again, it's one of those teams where I'm like, are they for real? I need to see a little bit more. I think they've, had a little bit fortunate of a schedule early on, and they've won some tight ones, but we'll see. I mean, but can't argue with the results.
It's a good one.
I was about to say, I know there's a coach who Dale really wants to shout out because he's been doing fantastic this year, even though he was told it's a rebuild year, you're not going to win anything, no one wants to play for you. Brian Kelly.
I was never going to say Brian Kelly. You fucking cuck.
Had to slip it in, mate. I'm sorry. Title of my sex tape.
All right. Anthony, do you want to listen to Kieran talk about LSU for 5 minutes, or should we let you go?
Yeah, we can talk about LSU I also kind of want to hear what you guys think about the back half of the Bengals. I don't want to usurp the show, but I mean, I would like to hear what you guys think about the rest of the season. But yes, LSU, I do have an eye on. I'm not a Brian Kelly guy. Me
neither. No one is, but Kieran and LSU.
But it was cool to see him win that game. It was cool to see him win that game this weekend.
I was happy for him. I talked to him, but he calls me. He's crying. He's happy, but he's also yelling, and he's saying, "Fuck Ohio State, bruv. You can't tell me nothing." And I'm like, Kieran.
I called my friend who was at Death Valley, and we both cried on the phone and talked about how excited we were because we had to sit the whole fucking offseason. Brian Kelly can't coach. He can't win big games. He can't recruit. He doesn't know what he's doing. LSU's secondary's busted. Jaden Daniels ain't shit. This team ain't shit. The offensive line's dog shit. No one knows what the fuck they're doing. Nick Saban can suck my big, hairy, Irish fucking nutsack. Fuck that guy. He came into Death Valley thinking, we're going to walk these guys. Fucking, what, we were 6-2 at the time? He thought, we're walking these guys. Now we're 7-2. We beat one of the best teams in the country. Harold Perkins already is looking like one of the best players in college football as a true freshman. Jaden Daniels is one of the most electric quarterbacks in the SEC right now, and that's including Hendon Hooker and Bryce Young. I'm just happy. I had to deal with so much shit in the off season. Brian Kelly is the fucking man. I don't care how goofy his accent is, how fucking annoying he is. He is the fucking man.
Family. His family.
He did do that whole
Family.
family.
You know, I'm down here with my family. I'm from Notre Dame, but we're down
Like
here in
Fast and
Louisiana.
Furious.
So we have a family.
Y'all.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
He's
He
known
is
in y'alls.
family. He can come eat at my table any fucking day he
I
wants.
thought I was your family.
I'll give
What
him
the
a
hell?
plate.
Well, you guys
Hey,
are from Boston.
Kieran, you
Leave
can't.
LSU to
Kieran,
beat-
you can't like Brian Kelly more than Eddie O. I mean, Coach O was the dude.
We all love Coach O.
I know
Here's the
he
thing.
fell off a cliff.
Coach O-
Yeah, I mean,
Go Tigers.
Go
That
Go
man
Tigers.
was
Go Tigers.
born and bred Louisiana, Cajun as fuck, and
Yeah.
I love him. But after the
100%.
divorce, his heart wasn't in football. He needed to take some time off. Brian Kelly has come in. He's kept the commits we wanted. He's kept Walker Howard. He's kept Garrett Nussmeier. He's got some bad fucking boys on that team.
What?
Harold Perkins, monster. Jay Ward, the warden. We've got some monsters, and
seriously,
people
when
ain't
Kieran
giving
does
us
that, he
enough
loses
fucking
his accent.
props.
Every time you do an impression, you lose your accent.
Yeah, I
What's
just
up,
think
AC?
I do the best impressions.
Tell us about Americans one time. Do it for AC one time.
Yes, AC needs to hear your American accent. Go ahead.
What, you want me to do?
good.
Hey, my name's Cletus. I come from downtown in Kentucky. I tell you what, guys, I voted for Donald J. Trump. The J stands for genius. I stand by that man. I stand by UK football. I stand by UK basketball. I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to make NASCAR an Olympic sport. Yeehaw!
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. The J is for genius.
J is for
The
genius.
J
I
is
love
for
it.
genius is the best.
You're
Yeah,
hilarious. dude.
that's good.
Hey, my
That's good.
blood runs with two things, brother. Mountain Dew and freedom.
So,
You don't like Mountain Dew and freedom? You're a fucking communist.
his other accent is Chase.
Oh my god!
AC, his other accent is Chase Love. It's a midnight DJ voice. He does that.
I haven't
he does
heard
that well
this.
too.
Oh, fuck.
Chase
I forgot
Love.
We did that on your show.
I haven't heard this one.
I
What's
haven't
this?
heard Chase
What is
Love.
it?
Chase Love. Because he loves Chase.
It's Chase Love, 109.9, the Jazz Hour. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can break down routes for a corner in slow motion, baby. And after that, we got Sauce Gardner bringing you all the sauce. It's the Jazz Hour, 98.1. Keep it here locked.
I had a feeling you were gonna get real close to the mic. I had a feeling. It had to be right here. I had a feeling.
But
It's good.
the funny thing,
That like literally is a creation of Jeff's. Like Jeff like said something about it on his show, so I like fucking jumped into it, and it for some reason between that and R-rated superstar, I've got like
Yep.
so many fucking characters. These
oh yeah, rated R superstar. Yep, you got rated R superstar. We got the
Frenchie
Godfather
Fry,
in here.
Billy Bean.
Yeah,
Guy
we
from
got the Godfather
Boston.
in here. We got my seat neighbor, and we got Who Day Joe. Who Day Joe. I don't have anything for you yet, but I'll work on it.
Genius Joe.
Genius
Jay-
Joe. There you go, baby.
J's for genius, right?
There you go.
Genius.
The J is for genius.
He's a smart guy. He's had good takes tonight. He's a smart guy.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, this has been a really good show, guys. I enjoyed watching it. You guys are
Thank you.
actually like know what you're talking about. This, you Dale. Proud of you, brother.
What?
So put up Cincy James's comment. I need to have
Did
a
I
fucking word
block
with this
out
guy.
for a minute and say something intelligent?
Oh God.
James, I love you. You're my guy. We have the best group chat, but you need to watch your dirty fucking whore mouth. Brian Kelly's gonna win more than one. And when he does, I'm gonna invite you around my house, and you're gonna be ambushed with a CFB playoff trophy. And my
Why
big
are you
Irish
getting
nut
closer to the
wings.
mic? He can hear you.
Let's
don't
just
need to
all
do
grab
it
our
all.
microphones and talk really closely into them.
This is DJ Love, and I'm trying to get personal.
I am DJ Thickamus, and I'm finna set up my
Oh my God.
Bigamous ass all over your face, motherfuckers.
AC, what are you drinking in your orange solo cup? I'm dying to know. What are you drinking?
I'm actually a little bit embarrassed
Steelers
to tell you
tears.
guys what I'm drinking.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
Wait,
you
you
know, you probably can't say I'm drinking red wine.
Oh, nuts.
There's nothing to be
Yeah,
embarrassed.
you know, I've tried to, like, you know, the beer thing. I'm like, you know, I've
Red wine.
yeah, I've tried it. I'm like, you know, I've just the beer gets you a little, I don't know, the clothes fit a little tighter with the beers and stuff.
I have
and I'm
no
like,
idea
yeah,
what you're talking about at all.
Yeah, so I'm and it's a little colder where it's cooled down. So I'm like, hey, red wine tonight, I think.
Yeah.
Is a I'm classing it up tonight. That's what I'm trying to do. So it's not really a brew. It's a I don't know what you would call it.
Anthony,
A vintage Bengals and vintage. I don't know.
You got the California cool.
Anthony can come over here with whatever the fuck he wants because he's the fucking Godfather.
He's the
And I
fucking
swear to God,
Godfather. That's
if
right.
anybody fucking ever says anything mean about Anthony, I swear to
Yeah.
God, I will come for you.
Oh, I'm
okay.
cool. We're gonna cruise around downtown Cincinnati. I mean, come out there. We're gonna cruise around downtown Cincinnati.
say-
Fucking love Anthony, and no one is gonna fuck with him.
So, Dale, how many
I will
beers do you have
say-
left? Any?
Wait, what's that?
So yeah, this is our fault, Dale. We were supposed to bring this up.
Oh yeah, we were. Sorry.
Yeah, we wanted you to,
Sorry,
to
Derek.
give a little shout out about what you guys have going on with the Pollock family.
Oh yeah. So we had David Pollock on our show. Really cool. I mean, dude is the coolest guy ever. We had him on. I kind of reached out and was like, hey, you know, we've done some things where we've supported some nonprofits and charities of current and former Bengals and stuff. And if you want to, you know, if he wants to come on and talk about what he's doing, and, you know, we can try and support that. And so what we've done is we've created kind of a fundraising thing. It's similar to GoFundMe. It's a thing called Give Send Go. So givesendgo.com/Pollock Family Foundation. You can go directly there and donate. And we're pooling, like, you know, YouTube super chats and all that kind of stuff. We're going to pool those funds and give them a big donation. They do a lot of stuff. It's a little difficult because they do a lot of stuff in, like, Atlanta and the state of Georgia and whatnot, because that's where he's from, but they're trying to branch out and do more things nationally. And obviously he's trying to kind of reconnect with the Bengals as well. So I kind of felt like it was a cool conduit to, like, connect with the fans and get fans to be like, hey, remember this guy? He was freaking awesome in college, and he was awesome for a real brief stint with the Bengals before he suffered a devastating injury.
I was at that game, man.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah. But really cool guy, highly entertaining. Obviously you probably see him on ESPN a lot, and does a lot of cool things. He helps out, like, Children's Hospital of Atlanta through his foundation, and at-risk teens and single moms and stuff. So they do a lot of cool things, and they're trying to do community Christmas things out there. So yeah, I appreciate you guys bringing that up. That's cool that you did that. Going to be supporting him. I mean, he came on, like, right before the season, so we've been kind of doing a long play with it to try and kind of pool a nice donation for him. So we'll be doing it for a little bit longer, and you know, try and support him. So if you liked him as a Bengal, if you like him as an ESPN sportscaster, if you want to donate, whatever, if you like him as a Georgia dog,
or if you have a little extra money and a heart, like, it's
maybe that,
good.
maybe that, especially around the holidays. So
I shared
Anthony,
the URL.
I appreciate you guys bringing that up, though. That's really cool.
But
that you guys
Anthony, if you don't
bring that
mind,
up.
send me the link. I'll at least, you know, toss
Yeah.
them a little. I don't have big funds, but, you know, I'm always good for 20 here or there. Like,
Yeah, me too, dude. Send it to me too. I'll give you some too.
And I put the URL in the chat. But yeah, thanks, Derek, for
I appreciate
reminding us to
you guys
bringing that up.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys talking about that.
I remember when Pollock first came in the league, we had him and Odell, and it was just
oh
like,
man. Well, that was our
we're-
two.
Oh, dude.
Chris Henry. That was
remember
the
those
draft
three picks?
class. With,
Yep. What
Like,
would have
we
happened
are
if Odell
set
would have not been able to
linebacker
stay?
for a
You
The
know,
long
biggest,
time.
what if class of all time. Like,
yeah.
that was like the ceiling was, like, non-existent with those guys. It was
The
just like,
biggest Chemo von Olhoffen thing of all time. Fuck you, Chemo von Olhoffen.
what if you guys got to reach out and find that guy and get him on your show?
I would
Honestly,
love-
You
Oh
gotta
my
get Chemo
God,
on-
that would be.
you guys got to get him
Get
on your
Chemo
show.
on?
Oh,
I couldn't do it because I don't think I would.
we need to get him on there with Dale after Dale's been drinking his little cooler.
You gotta get
I'm
him on the show.
I'm still waiting on Chris Evans on the Iceman show.
If he just said, "I'm sorry, I blew out Carson's wheels a little bit," I'd be like, "Okay, cool," but he'd probably be like, "No, I was just playing football," and I'd be like, "You're an asshole! Fuck you, get up on a weapon."
Fuck Carson anyway.
What?
By the way, Greg, I don't.
Talking shit
Greg
about the
is
Bengals. Fuck him.
Oh yeah,
Greg
get the Gregs. Go ahead.
best. Okay, Greg knows. Greg's a smart guy.
Die Hard.
Greg knows,
Die Hard.
No, Home Alone
Die
2.
Hard.
You got it. Home Alone 2, and not one.
What?
Not one. Home Alone 2, the sequel. Home Alone 2,
Oh my God.
the sequel. 100%. 100%. Greg knows. Greg knows.
jeez.
Yeah. Dude,
for me,
the sticky,
it's
Die Hard
the
or
sticky
Elf.
bandits. The sticky bandits. Come on.
It's Christmas Vacation. I hope the Christmas Vacation's at least in your top 5.
It's up there. Yeah.
Die Hard, Elf, Christmas
Elf.
Vacation.
Elf,
Exactly.
One.
Elf is my number
great.
1 for sure. So, Anthony, do you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie? That's what the argument always.
You know what? I might get my man card revoked here in a little bit. I have not seen Die Hard in a long time. It's been a really long time, so it's hard for me to be like, that's a Christmas movie. That's an action movie.
It was during Christmas.
I tend to I think it's more Christmas movie. But
suck it, Greg.
Christmas party.
Suck it, Greg.
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I
Yeah, Greg.
Hey,
watch it again.
we have to respect Anthony's opinion on this because he has the most chiseled, manly jawline
Who
I've
the
ever
fuck
seen.
is Anthony?
You are a
Who's Anthony?
you are a handsome dude, dog. So
We're
you
Chase
get
Love
final say on action movies.
I'm ugly as sin, but I appreciate it. Thank
Nah,
you.
you're a fucking dreamboat, dude.
Oh,
You took it
okay.
the
I
other way.
don't know, dude. You guys should see his brother. His brother's got the California locks and the chiseled chest. Yeah, you
Anthony liked me a lot because I used to compliment him, and you guys just took it all away from me.
Dale, where were you last? Where were you
weasel
week
our
1
way
last
in.
year? I didn't know you week 1 last year, but where
Yeah,
were you
Dale.
week 1 last year? Were you at the game week 1?
I didn't even know him then.
It wasn't week 1, but the Packers game.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
was
go to that one.
standing. No, you were at the Packers game, right?
Me? I wasn't there.
No, he went week 1.
I almost went to that one because I had a buddy who was going, and I was like,
So
he's
last
like,
year, who did we play week 1 last year?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah, you were at that one, right?
Yeah.
I seen you.
Hey, you see me if you type in.
He was just
Devon
staring
Chase's
at
name.
you.
You
from
were
afar.
standing beside Jer Bear. Me and my wife walked
Oh,
past.
yes. Okay.
I was
yes,
smoking
yes.
a cigarette like
Yes,
I don't know
yes.
anybody.
Yes.
And I was like,
yes.
hey, that's Anthony. Melissa.
Yes.
And she was,
Yes.
My
yes,
wife's like, I
Yes.
don't give a fuck.
Yes.
What are you
yes,
talking about?
I
I'm like-
remember now.
I'm like,
yes.
no, he's like a
Yes.
But no, I didn't. I didn't even walk up and talk to you. I just
I remember seeing you blasting the e-cig. I remember.
Anthony,
At Bengal gyms, right?
you had no idea.
Yeah, Anthony. I didn't. even
Hey,
know
I'm
Dale
gonna meet
was
you
there.
one day, and I'm gonna hug you so hard.
Hey,
Anthony.
are you coming this year day in the games, Anthony?
You know what? I thought about Steelers game. Thank God I didn't go to that one.
Yeah.
And
Thank
then I kind of keep like kicking the can down the road. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn.
Buffalo.
Okay, so there's.
Yeah,
I think so.
KC
I've
or
got
Buffalo.
I've got a really close friend who's a big Buffalo Bills fan, and if something works out, I think we may go to that one, which would be really cool. But we're
I'm a
both
little disappointed in you.
Southern California guys. I don't know how we would do with that.
Our
You'll
next
be
home-
fine.
All right.
You just wear Dale. You'll be fine. Just put him around you. You'll be fine. You'll be nice and warm the whole time.
What the fuck? But I was gonna say our next game is against the Chiefs. Come on, man.
Okay, you don't know this, but this
I said Casey or
calling
Buffalo.
someone a chief is an insult in London. So yeah, they are a bunch of chiefs.
I thought you weren't from England.
Yeah.
I am Irish Scot. I was just unfortunately raised in the hellhole that is London.
All right.
So chief is an insult. So yeah, they are a bunch of chiefs. Patrick Mahomes a chief. Travis Kelce's a chief. Andy Reid, he's a big fucking chief. Fuck all of them. You know,
couple
I mean,
beers
let's
in,
emphasis
if
whatever
someone's
wanna
like, you got it,
emphasize, you get
Chief.
close to the mic.
We bundle them together. You know when you get a Snickers, but it's two Snickers, a Snickers. duo?
Everyone,
That's
grab
what
your
that team are.
microphones and hold
They
them
are.
tight.
They are.
Okay,
That whole
got it.
team is a Snickers duo of Chiefs. Fuck them.
So, Kieran, if you have a couple beers right at the pub, and you
doesn't
have a couple beers,
drink.
you're like, you go, hey, you got it,
It
Chief.
does.
If you say, hey, you got it, Chief. Hey, you got it, Chief.
Got a fucking
Or
bar
that,
back
then that's like, oh God, it's on. Like that's like
Yeah, we don't really say it. Like it's normally like old people who say it as like you got it, Chief. But like most of the time, if, like someone's being a prick, I'd be like, oi, stop being a chief. And like normally they'll just stop acting like a chief. But like I said,
Yeah.
the Kansas City Chiefs, they're a Twix, they're a big Snickers where you get two. They are a Snickers duo of Chiefs. Fuck them all. They're a
I don't know.
multi-pack, not
I
to
have
be
no
sold
idea what
separately.
the fuck we're talking about.
Hey, Dale, how many beers do you have left in your little cooler? 'Cause we started talking about
I told you 0, bitch.
3 hours ago.
Don't worry.
how
about
many
it.
did you originally have?
Yeah, he had 8.
12, 16 ounces.
Yeah, and a fireball.
I saw the fireball.
I don't know how people drink that stuff. That's an affront to whiskey and alcohol.
Because I'm an American, Kieran.
You say that.
What we do.
He's a
You're
murderer.
he's
more
a-
American than
he's-
me,
He's a
brother.
genius with a J.
We do a
Oh,
lot
fuck
of
yeah.
dumb shit, bruv.
Yeah. We drink
Hey,
because
until-
we have to, because our country's fucked up. Life is hard.
Hey, until NASCAR is an Olympic sport, you're not a true American.
Oh God.
They're gonna
Well,
like
this
the
shit's
sports
went off
with
the rails.
tailpipes.
Anthony, thank you for your time. Kieran, thank you for your
Thank you.
time.
As
Iceman,
always.
thank you for your time. Joe, you got any good things to send us out on?
No, man, this has been awesome getting all the mid-season stuff, and we can go into our bye with a nice W, and let's come back and beat the fucking Steelers.
Fuck the Steelers. Who dey?
Who dey?
Stripes, we in it. New day, new age, yeah, we get it. Cincinnati jungle fitted. Who they in our house, we win it. Orange and black and white, we build it. Earned our stripes, you know we kill it. Bleed our colors, jungle dripping. Nasty, natty, yeah, we live it. Lit the crowd, hit the city loud. Yeah, we feasting now. Fit the pounce, make the city howl. Now we feasting now. Thunder through the tunnel, from the sideline to the huddle. Stripes, we tatted on the jungle. When we flex that, who they muscle on them. Stripes. Cincinnati, we gon' rise and up. In the jungle,